In the vast silence of space, something has awakened. A colossal burst of solar fury, a coronal mass ejection, has just been unleashed from the sun's surface. But this time, it's not aimed at Earth. Its trajectory leads toward a stranger, an interstellar traveler known as 3I, Atlas, a wanderer from another star system. Billions of tons of charged particles, racing through the void at over 1,000,000 miles per hour, heading straight for an object not born of our sun. And as the flare ignites across the solar wind, one question begins to echo through every observatory, every silent control room, every mind that dares to wonder: what happens when the sun itself strikes an alien visitor? The activation has begun. Long before 3I, Atlas, the cosmos had already sent us whispers from beyond. In 2017, astronomers watched in disbelief as a strange, tumbling object, Oumuamua, passed through our solar system, defying every rule we knew about comets and asteroids. 2 years later, another visitor appeared, 2I, Borisov, the first unmistakable interstellar comet. Both were fleeting messengers, moving too fast, too wild, to ever return. But now, a third traveler has entered our domain. 3I, Atlas. Detected by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, or ATLAS, it glides through space on a hyperbolic path, a trajectory that proves one thing: it was never born of our sun. Its origin? Unknown. Its journey? Unimaginably long. Somewhere beyond the frozen reaches of alien stars, this object was cast out, perhaps billions of years ago, drifting through interstellar darkness until gravity finally pulled it toward our star. And now, fate has drawn it into the path of a colossal solar storm. The sun, a living furnace of plasma and magnetism, has erupted in one of the most violent coronal mass ejections of the year. Billions of tons of solar material, charged, twisted, burning with energy, and heading directly toward an interstellar visitor that may hold secrets older than the sun itself. History is repeating, but this time, the messenger from beyond will meet the fire of our own star. It began with a flicker, a faint speck of light, caught by the unblinking eyes of the Atlas telescopes. On a quiet night in mid-2025, automated systems flagged something unusual, an object moving too fast, at an angle that didn't belong to any known orbit. Within hours, astronomers were on alert. The calculations didn't lie, its path was hyperbolic, its velocity far beyond anything bound to our sun. What they had found was the third interstellar object ever detected. 3I, Atlas. As its image sharpened through powerful observatories, the comet revealed a glowing coma, a delicate veil of dust and gas surrounding a frozen core. It wasn't just beautiful, it was ancient, carrying ices and minerals untouched since the birth of alien stars. And then came the warning from the sun. A massive coronal mass ejection had just erupted, one of the largest solar blasts of the decade. NASA's solar monitors traced its arc, and what they saw defied coincidence. The CME's trajectory lined up perfectly, not with Earth, not with Mars, but with 3I, Atlas itself. A wave of plasma, magnetized and roaring at millions of kilometers per hour, was now on a direct path toward the interstellar wanderer. For scientists, it was an unprecedented event. Never before had a solar storm been predicted to collide with an object not born of our solar system. Telescopes turned. Satellites repositioned. Every major observatory, from Hawaii to Chile, focused on one target: the moment when the sun would touch the stars. And as the countdown began, humanity waited to witness something no one had ever seen before. The collision between solar fire and cosmic ice. The moment the data came in, the world's observatories lit up. Across NASA, ESA, and observatories on Earth and in orbit, scientists scrambled to decode what they were witnessing. 3I, Atlas, the interstellar traveler, was now engulfed in the streaming particles of the sun's latest eruption. The CME, a storm of magnetized plasma, slammed into the comet's coma, and for a brief moment, 3I, Atlas flared brighter than ever before. Its coma expanded. Its tail elongated, twisting and shimmering with faint magnetic ripples. Spectrographs from the James Webb Space Telescope detected unfamiliar signatures, bursts of carbon dioxide, water vapor, and something stranger, rare isotopes not typical in solar system comets. Some scientists whispered it might be a clue that this object was formed around a completely different kind of star. Others urged restraint. Don't jump to conclusions, they said. But the debate had already begun. Was 3I Atlas just a natural interstellar comet, or was something more profound unfolding before our eyes? Dr. Karen Hughes from NASA's Goddard Center called it a once-in-a-lifetime laboratory, the first chance to watch solar plasma interacting with material not from our solar system. Meanwhile, data analysts noticed irregular pulses in the radio spectrum, subtle fluctuations, rhythmic but unexplained. The SETI Institute took notice. They cautioned against sensational claims, but the idea lingered. Could an object from another star be responding to the sun in ways we've never imagined? On social media, theories exploded: activation, signals, communication. But in the quiet of mission control, scientists stared at their screens, humbled by the mystery. For the first time, humanity was watching a visitor from the stars being reshaped, live, by the power of our own sun. There are moments in science when the data doesn't fit, when numbers refuse to align, and reality itself seems to bend. 3I Atlas has become one of those moments. As the solar storm collided with it, instruments began recording anomalies, magnetic fields twisting in patterns no model could explain, particles accelerating against the solar wind, as if something inside the comet was pushing back. Some readings showed pulses of ionized gas, firing in regular intervals, like a heartbeat echoing through the void. The temperature around the nucleus spiked, then stabilized, far too quickly. One researcher quietly asked, "Is it reacting?" Others dismissed it as coincidence, a natural oscillation in the plasma stream. But deep down, no one could shake the question. How could an icy rock, a frozen wanderer, behave like it was alive? Then came the imaging data. The Vera C. Rubin Observatory detected something extraordinary. A faint geometric pattern rippling across the tail, not random, not chaotic, but ordered. The shape shifted, almost intelligently, aligning momentarily with the direction of the incoming solar particles. It looked deliberate. Scientists were torn. Some said it was an optical illusion, sunlight scattering through charged dust. Others whispered about resonance, a harmonic between the comet's magnetic field and the sun's pulse. And then, the unspoken thought that no one dared publish: what if this object was never truly dormant? What if this collision, this activation, had awakened something built into its very core? Not life as we know it, but memory. A remnant of an ancient civilization, or the echo of a technology we can't yet comprehend. Impossible? Perhaps. But so was the idea of a rock from another star, until we saw it with our own eyes. And now, that same object seems to be listening to our sun. Darkness. We may never see it again. But for a brief moment, we shared a connection, our star and a traveler from another. Two cosmic wanderers crossing paths in the infinite night. In that instant, the universe reminded us of something profound: that we are not isolated. That even across the cold void, the stars are speaking, not in words, but in events. Every comet, every flare, every flash of cosmic light, is a message. And perhaps, the activation is not the awakening of a machine or a signal, but the awakening of us. Our realization that the cosmos is alive, dynamic, interconnected, eternal. 3I Atlas will soon vanish into interstellar space once more, carrying traces of our sun into the unknown, and maybe, somewhere in another system, another civilization will look up and wonder where this visitor came from. From their perspective, we will be the alien star. Soft music swells, piano fades into ethereal choir tones, the cosmos breathes in cycles: encounter, ignition, departure. The activation has begun, and the story of light continues.